Hello, YouTube, and welcome back to me trying to read every single lost episode creepypasta that I can get my hands on. Today, I'll be reading Bad Mouse, The Confession. I can only imagine there's so many mouses out there, on which one this could be about. That being said, why don't we get right into it? Bad Mouse, The Confession. My name is William Stankowitz. I was a vice president of programming for Nickelodeon at the time of the tragic event in 2011. I'm so fucking sorry. You know, Bad Mouse? That thing that hijacked our children's favorite channels and killed so many innocent people. A lot of them my friends. My life has been in a downward spiral ever since. Everyone is so convinced that it was me. Someone threw a rock at my car the other day. I've been tailgated, followed home. My loved ones won't even talk to me. I'm tired of it. This is my confession. So, the official narrative that Nickelodeon, Disney, and Cartoon Network are trying to sell is that Bad Mouse was the work of a deranged individual who got butthurt that their beloved character was deemed inferior to the top dogs. It made sense. Tapes sent to the studios, rejected, tried to force Bad Mouse to be seen on the major networks. No one liked them, then got mad and hijacked our broadcasts, showing disturbing imagery as a final fuck you to us all. Tell me, how does that explain the fucking white liquid all my friends were choking on, or the mouse-shaped figure I saw running outside the conference room, the same one Nancy saw? Of course, those details have not been disclosed to the press in any way, shape, or form. Instead, all the deaths were a coordinated attack by external parties. You couldn't be more vague if you tried. It's complete and utter bullshit. No, that's not what Bad Mouse is. The perpetrator isn't a person. And no, he's not even truly a puppet. Get Chucky out of your mind. Think of him like this. A real half cartoon, half organic, and half handcrafted mouse that's feeding on our life force, our creativity, our sense of wonder, to become into a real mouse. He strained himself horribly during the good tapes we received. He used up too much energy. Bad Mouse is trying to gain life by literally consuming everything we are. He used a makeshift human body to carry out his plans. No, I'm not crazy, nor am I trying to fuck with you. Please, just hear me out. I was very persistent, and I even went as far as contacting Nancy to see if we could work together on this. At first, she wasn't very receptive, cussing me out and slamming the door on me. She just kept saying, "No, go away, just leave me the fuck alone." But eventually, she caved. Her and I saw the same thing, but she saw something else that piqued my interest. Nancy told me that after she saw Bad Mouse run outside, she chased after him, confused, yet curious at the same time. Of course, she wasn't exactly thinking straight either. After running outside to her yard, there was nothing. Her neighborhood was eerily quiet. Still crying her eyes out, she turned to her left, looking down the street. Nothing. Then she turned to her right and witnessed, to her horror, Bad Mouse scampering down the road, leaving trails of blood and white liquid behind that quickly evaporated. It was such a surreal sight. He moved like an actual mouse, but he was 2 or 3 times as big. Nancy watched as Bad Mouse turned a corner into another person's yard. About 10 seconds later, something, or rather, someone else emerged. It was a strange-looking man with wispy brown hair that fell down over his face, thick-rimmed nerd glasses, and black clothing. His features weren't right. Looked like everything was trying to settle into place, yet failing. He shook violently, his limbs contorted, those unnatural movements not in sync with his own body, almost like a marionette being flailed around by a careless child. Lurching forward one last time, he vomited white liquid and blood all over the ground. Finally, he looked back up at Nancy, cocking his head slightly. "What the fuck are you?" Nancy screamed in absolute primal agony. The sound of police sirens could be heard. Turning around to see the red and blue lights in the distance, Nancy felt instantly relieved. When she turned back around to where Bad Mouse was, though, he was gone. She admitted it was stupid of her not to stay with her husband. I was dumbfounded, just utterly stupefied. But I knew for a fact that she was telling the truth. I'm a pretty good lie detector. Yet she gave me no reason to disbelieve or discredit her story. To make a long story short, her and I worked day and night to try and convince police, detectives, journalists, really anyone, about everything we were telling them. Of course, it didn't work. They looked at us like we were fucking delusional. People thought we were out of our minds. No one wanted to deal with us. The news thought we were crazy and that we just made this up for attention or, in my case, cover my ass. What were we? Conspiracy theorists? But we didn't let it rest. We knew something was behind this. A presence. It took so much longer than it should have, but finally, we got at least a few people to listen to us. I'm not going to get all technical. It's hard to explain, I'm not going to lie. Let's just say I had to make a few phone calls, pay some people off. I worked for a multi-million-dollar entertainment company. Yeah, I had the money. You know what they say, money talks. Why would I be so stupid? Nancy and I did all the hard-boiled research we could, and oddly, tracked Bad Mouse down to a small field about an hour away from Los Angeles. We got together a team, if you will. You can call them whatever you want. Mercenaries seem like a good one. We'll call them that. They were paid well. I made sure of it. It's honestly kind of surprising how far people will go just for some extra bills. Nancy and I didn't go. These people were trained. We weren't. Plus, we figured they would just shoot the damn mouse if they found it. Surely he wasn't invincible. We saw the video. It was a first-person view of the raid on Bad Mouse from the view of one of our mercenaries. They found the door embedded in the field. You could hear the murmurs and chattering amongst them. This was the strangest, most bizarre thing they'd ever done. Yes, it was silly, but I was determined to have the truth come out no matter what. Money would be flowing into their pockets soon enough. Really, I just wanted them to shut up and complete the mission. They did a whole day of surveillance, with literally nothing happening. At about 7 p.m., it began. They very silently and very tactically approached the door that laid parallel with the earth. It was rusted, layered with dirt and grime. When they tried to open it, it wouldn't budge. Physically prying it open with a crowbar revealed the white liquid caked the inside. So disgusting. Like a sludge of milk and semen. The smell was apparently horrendous. Some of them choked back the urge to vomit. A stairway led down to a seemingly bottomless pit of darkness. One by one, they went in. Their footsteps made loud squelching and peeling sounds. Their flashlights let them know that they were in a space not too dissimilar from a sewer. An enclosed cavity that was covered in white liquid on the walls, ground everywhere. It dripped from the ceiling onto the men, down their bodies, and onto their boots. They cautiously maneuvered into the darkness. None of them knew how far they were supposed to go or what fate was to befall them. Eventually, they came across a set of doors that had been welded shut. They weren't about to just kick them open. Luckily, they came prepared with an explosive demolition device. Blowing it up, what lay beyond sent them into a fit of nausea. It took the mercenaries a while to regain their bearings. Their eyes watered, their legs turned into jelly. It was a very small, empty studio-like space. Like the long carnivorous tunnel that they had just came from, it wasn't spared from the white liquid covering every single inch of it. Nancy and I recognized the other puppets and stuffed animals from the Bad Mouse episodes just lying in heaps on the floor. Pieces of old Bad Mouse sets and environments were littered everywhere. A flood of bad memories invaded my mind as I saw all of this. There was a desk with an office chair sitting in the middle. Although it was facing away from the men, they could tell someone was sitting in that very chair. As the mercenaries got closer and closer, one of them grabbed the chair and swiveled it around. Quickly, he backed up. Slowly, the chair turned to reveal what should have been the man, the hijacker, the killer, Bad Mouse. But one look told the mercenaries that something was very, very wrong. Hollow. That was the best way to describe it. Flat skin, no bones, no muscles to speak of, unnaturally pale skin, completely naked, sunken features, bleachy white hair, dark veins all over its body, white liquid dripping from every orifice onto the ground. It didn't move. It didn't pulse or quiver or twitch. Just a flesh blanket draped over an internal void. A mindless husk, a meat sack. What the fuck? The guy recording whispered to himself. Before he could mutter anything else, the faint sound of wet, sloppy chewing could be heard from somewhere. Very noticeably frightened, the men tried to locate the source of the new sound. Much like Nancy before them, they turned to their left. Nothing. And then they turned to their right. It was him. Bad Mouse, just as Nancy and I remembered him. All of us were in shock. I told you he was half cartoon, half organic, and half handcrafted. Meat, fur, and flesh mixed with paper and glue. He was as white as snow, remarkably clean considering the circumstances, and stood about 1.5 feet tall. Bad Mouse was eating something indiscernible, biting and ripping chunks off of it. A gray tail swung behind him. A smile was etched on his face. He couldn't not smile. The mercenaries weren't exactly sure what to do next. They looked at it for a moment, staring in absolute horror at this thing. One of the mercenaries up front raised his pistol in the air, ready to shoot. He slowly stepped closer, trying to be as quiet as possible. Unfortunately, he wasn't quiet enough. Bad Mouse stopped chewing and stared at them, the white liquid leaking out of his mouth. He dropped whatever he was eating, which fell on the floor with a loud thud. He stood up on his hind legs, staring at them. Bad Mouse cocked his head every now and then, tail moving back and forth behind him. A deafening silence followed. "We shooting this thing?" one of the mercenaries asked. I think everyone was just in awe. Even as Nancy and I were hiring these guys, we knew they didn't truly take us seriously. Hunting down a mouse for a couple of $1,000s? Easiest money ever. But no one was laughing now. As everyone exchanged confused and astonished looks, I saw Bad Mouse turn to the guy recording, his huge eyes staring directly at me through the camera. He spoke in that fucking voice, the same exact one from when we got those damn packages all the way back in 2009. William? Is that? Everyone jumped in fright. The mercenary who asked if they were going to shoot Bad Mouse let out a shot from his pistol. A sudden burst of light shone from the chamber. When everyone, including Nancy and I, recovered from the tinnitus, we saw that he did it. The dude shot Bad Mouse's head off. Its tiny corpse was twitching and oozing out white liquid. The was head in chunks, splattered all over the wall. Pussies, the mercenary quipped before going to leave. Nancy and I were bewildered. Just like that. All this time we could have just shot the fucking thing? No. No way it was that easy. As the mercenaries headed back towards the blown up set of doors, they heard a weird squelching sound coming from behind them. Turning around, they saw that Bad Mouse's body was fixing and reattaching itself. He just slowly stood up, his head fixed back onto his body. Without wasting any time, the mercenaries tried to shoot him more, but no matter how many times they did, Bad Mouse would always come back. All of the mercenaries looked at each other, now scared out of their minds. I gave the orders to abandon the mission. I was so blinded by, I don't know, revenge, I guess, that I realized I just sent these men to their deaths. Somehow, I knew they couldn't escape, and that was proven right when they tried to run back down the corridor, up the stairs, and out of the door. They couldn't get out. The door wouldn't budge. Blowing it up didn't do anything either. At the back of the large group of men, the guy recording was trying to figure out a solution to their predicament when he heard more squelchy sounds behind him. Quickly getting everyone's attention, turned around. Bad Mouse was just a few feet away from them, not doing anything, just staring at them like a curious puppy. That's when all hell broke loose. Out of nowhere, Bad Mouse launched itself at the camera with a horrific high-pitched shriek, attaching himself to the mercenary's face as the latter dropped the camera down to the ground. His team, terrified, tried to get Bad Mouse off of him, but they couldn't pry him off. Some of them tried to take aim at the bizarre monstrosity with their guns, but didn't want to risk shooting their fellow mercenary. The camera kept recording as the mercenary screamed in terror. Everyone watched in disgust and shock as Bad Mouse pried open the man's mouth and began to crawl and wiggle its way down his throat. He gagged, coughed, spat, but couldn't seem to get Bad Mouse out. Blood and mucus began to trickle from his nose and mouth. This was soon accompanied by the white liquid pouring out in gallons. The rest of the mercenaries, as well as Nancy and me, could see Bad Mouth's outline as he crawled down and down into the mercenary's stomach. Suddenly, the mercenary's breathing stopped. He fell back with a loud bang. Without warning, Bad Mouse exploded out of the leader's stomach, shooting blood and guts everywhere. Flying through the air, it attached itself to another mercenary. What followed next was just... I've never seen such pure chaos, mayhem, pandemonium, all of that. I'm not going to describe exactly what I saw. Just from that description, you can imagine exactly what was going on. My throat felt like it was going to burst. I was having trouble keeping it all in, and yeah, I vomited. Nancy wasn't far behind. Our hearts were absolutely broken for them. The camera kept recording, static overcoming the feed. The last man alive tried desperately to escape that wicked place. Bad Mouse pounced on top of him, ripping and biting into his flesh, eating him alive. His screams died out, and then there was nothing. Bad Mouse came back into frame. We saw his mouse body beginning to convulse, spasm, and flail about. The handcrafted parts were beginning to exit off of him, being replaced by more realistic-looking parts. A hand here, a leg there. More and more of his being becoming real. A huge smile appeared on his face. He began laughing. The last traces of his handcrafted skin went away. The video waved, jittered, and lagged as Bad Mouse slowly turned around. He began skipping and hopping towards the camera, letting out little noises like let-um, yeah, leah. It was like a children's melody. Bad Mouse picked the camera up, holding it right up to its face, staring right at us. He smiled and began singing this song, a song that I'd forgotten up until that point while spinning the camera around with him. I remembered when he first sang that song while riding that stupid little motorcycle, that complete rip-off of both The Mouse and the Motorcycle and Last Dance with Mary Jane. The video ended. We couldn't stand it. Nancy and I immediately got out of our car, both vomiting again as soon as we came outside. As it stands, all of those men are dead. Every single one of them. We never found them. Even the place where Bad Mouse was found, it's nowhere. Poof. Vanished. What the fuck did I just do? I gave Bad Mouse the life he desired. He was real now. A real mouse. I was so fucking stupid. I forced Nancy into this. I forced those mercenaries into this. And now, I think I forced the whole world into this. It makes it even more terrifying that I can't even properly identify what he even is. I do know, however, what he'll become if he isn't somehow stopped. A god. A demented god. And the world isn't ready for his reign. He'll make the world his show. I'm just so angry. Frightened. This isn't right. He's coming for you, reader. He's coming for you. He's not going to be satisfied until he gets all the life force he wants. Don't be like me. Find something, anything, to kill him with. If you have to kill yourself in the process, so what? It's either you or the entire world. Make your choice. My only question is, how did he know it was me through the camera just before he was shot? Goodbye, world. Goodbye, reader. Goodbye, everyone. And that is the end of the creepypasta. Let me see. Somehow at the beginning we have a hijacking and they decided it was our William here, which doesn't make any sense unless he's saying that the killing of people was him, which also doesn't make any sense. Is the confession more or less that he sent the mercenaries to their death? I suppose. I guess that's what it is. He's confessing that he tried to investigate and eliminate Bad Mouse just for him to have sent a bunch of people to their deaths. Which I suppose would be something worth confessing for. I guess it's not particularly a great thing that a being like this would know it's you behind the camera that sent these mercenaries. The question is whether or not Bad Mouse really knew that those mercenaries were going to kill him, or were sent to kill him. I feel like without knowing the first half of the story and reading that one first, you won't really get much connection or relevancy. Though it would have been nice if he had tried to reach the other, like any other people from the other networks trying to figure out who did this. Only having one person, this Nancy character, being the only aide with knowledge of Bad Mouse seems a little strange. What I do find a little cliche is this whole god thing. Any creature who is just trying to be self-actualized is then becomes like this, oh, it's a demented god, it's an evil god. You broke into its house. It was minding its own business at that point. You broke into its house. In an American set of things, what did you expect? You kicked down his door. Well, sorry, you You opened his front door and blew up his bedroom door. You're very lucky he only attacked after being shot. Some people don't have that patience. Oh, he's evil. We went into his location and he... Oh my goodness. Don't... Yeah, I suppose you shouldn't send people out to break into some strange being's home. I don't know the jumping the he's coming for you specifically, reader, comes from. That's a little bit out there. If anything, he might just be coming for you and Nancy because he could see you both. I'm not sure how the reader is involved in this. That being said, I think this story is fine. I think it's like a 4 out of 10. It's all right. Good visceral descriptions. Yeah, no, that's all I can think of. I mean, like, a few flaws from a story standpoint, but I mean, it's a fine creepypasta. So a 4 seems like a nice safe number to put this in. But let me know what you guys think, whether or not you agree or not. Other than that, I think it is a good time for me to say that it is bye-bye for now. Bye!